Tell me when to go. Constantine, you ready? Okay. Okay.
It's recording. I'm recording this.
Oh, wait. The earth is melting. We're all fat. Sugar is bad. Gluten is bad. Genetically modified organisms are bad. Science is scary, you guys. And especially when it comes to our nutritional health. Every day we're infiltrated with things from Facebook, the media, magazines, all that try to inform us about our health, but most of the time they just mislead us or misguide us. And let's face it, we all care about what we put into our bodies. It matters, but who can we really trust? What information is valid? And what the heck is a genetically modified organism? Well, today I would like to discuss with you the idea that genetically modified organisms are safe, they are essential to feeding a growing population, and necessary to sustain our planet. So again, I ask you, what are genetically modified organisms? Well, I asked a few people at Pepperdine University the same question.
Be honest.
They're yummy.
I don't eat it.
That we're not supposed to eat them.
Okay, so I'm all for it.
Hey, soccer girls, what do you think about genetically modified foods?
What is that?
Greatest comment ever.
But when broken down, it's not so scary. The word genetically or bioengineered technology in front of the word food. After all, we eat that stuff. I took a picture from the McGraw-Hill textbook, commonly used to explain this. It's really simple. So let's just say that we have a piece of corn, and that corn is infected with a virus that's killing all the crops. And then we have a bacteria, and we know that this bacteria is resistant to that kind of infection. Well, scientists have developed a way to take a specific gene from that bacteria, put it into the corn, and now we have a crop of corn that is resistant to that infection. So the Institute of Food and Technology says that while some of the genes we get for GMOs come from these types of bacteria or animals, the majority of them come from other plants. And you know what? The coolest thing is that nature does this on its own. We can speed it up in a lab and create GMOs, but really, nature does this on its own. An article by Marie Dunford, a PhD and a registered dietitian, explains this concept with cross-pollination, which of corn, which has been being done for thousands of years on its own. When corn A and corn B cross-pollinate, the best characteristics from corn A and corn B end up in corn seeds. This is ideal. And in fact, this so-called biotechnology, we've been doing it since the 1800 BC, back when bakers would take different kinds of yeast and mix them to get leavened bread. So honestly, you guys, this is an idea that is saving the world today. The Institute of Food and Technology also claims that by 2020, our Earth will have 9 billion human beings on it. That is a lot of people to feed, and frankly, it's not possible. With the amount of space we have in farmland, we have to use genetically modified foods. And they're already saving people. Marie Dunford again tells the story of golden rice. Golden rice, basically, kids in Africa were going blind. They were getting cataracts from vitamin A deficiency. Now this micronutrient was taken, the gene of it, placed in rice, and it fed more than, well, rice feeds about half of the population on the earth. So this was very important because it gave vitamin A to all these children who were only eating rice. It cured their blindness. A TED talk given by a very famous plant geneticist also said that rice that rice cannot be submerged fully in water. It dies, the crop itself. And right now there's a lot of flooding going on in other countries, which is a whole other topic. But basically, they were able to engineer rice to withstand submergence in water, which is an incredible feat. Excuse me. A PubMed article also stated that stats report in 2014 that economically, $17 billion was redistributed to farmers just because of GMOs. Now, I'd like you guys to think for a second if you have ever eaten a GMO. Do you know? Well, why do you think about that? I would like to tell you that Dr. Helm herself, a nutrition professor at Pepperdine, I had a conversation with her about this. She informed me that 80% of the foods we eat are genetically modified. And it's okay. We've been eating it since we were infants. Most baby food is genetically modified. And how do you feel? Probably, for the most part, all right. Well, how would we know if it was genetically modified? Are they labeled? Well, some of them are. The Non-GMO Project is a movement. They basically believe that GMOs are scary, that they're bad, and they're unhealthy. Now, in reality, like, this is a really nice idea. It looks really happy and healthy. The butterfly looks pretty happy. Looks like he's doing okay. But you guys, this is tricking consumers because genetically modified foods cannot be identified. I did an interview with a researcher at University of California, Santa Barbara, Lennon Thomas, who told me that there is absolutely zero proof that genetically modified foods are bad for us. This is somewhat of an elite idea. The World Health Organization also states that genetically modified food is in no way inherently less safe than other foods. There's just no proof or way to test them compositionally. The Food Journal also released an article stating that, once again, this is an elite idea. Rural countries cannot afford to not eat genetically modified foods. There's just no way. People like us who go into the grocery store can look and say, oh, I really want to buy this. This looks nice and really healthy. But in reality, it's just marked up $3. That probably still has GMO in it. So here's what you can do to help these countries to allow them to continue to have GMOs. You can take a few classes here at Pepperdine, or maybe just one. A lot of nutritional science classes, Dr. Helm told me, actually tell you and inform you a lot about GMOs and help you to make your own informed decision about whether or not you think that they're helpful or not. Another thing you can do is vote against labeling. The Science Compass magazine stated that labeling GMOs is inconsistent. It's not realistic. It's burdensome to people who are labeling them. It's just inconsistent with scientific data because, once again, you cannot prove that something is compositionally different than another and has GMO in it. It just doesn't make sense. So I would like to say, in conclusion, I really hope that you guys now understand more about GMOs, or at least are interested in looking into it yourselves. I have outlined for you a few things. Firstly, how GMOs are made, that they're necessary for our growing population. There's no choice. And that 99% of scientists, if you ask them, they'll tell you that they are fine. And also, I've let you know what you yourselves can do to help support this amazing scientific endeavor. I will say again, they're essential to supporting our future Earth. And honestly, you guys, if you like food and you like eating, then you like GMOs. Thank you.